Khabib Nurmagomedov is the current UFC lightweight champion of the world. He has made a career out of dominating his opponents with little opposition. He currently holds a perfect record of 28 wins and 0 defeats. But the story doesn't start here. September 20th, 1988. Khabib was born in the village of Sildi in the Sumadinsky district of Dagestan, which translates to the Eagles District. Later on, Khabib would move to the capital of Dagestan, Makhachkala. The second of 3 children, Khabib has an older brother, Magomed, and a younger sister, Amina. Growing up, he shared the household with his siblings and cousins, something he still does to this day. His interest in martial arts began when he started watching the students training at his father's gym. His father, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, was a decorated athlete of his own right. Having wrestled from an early age, Abdulmanap then trained judo and sambo in the Russian army. Afterwards, he would go on to further study judo at one of Ukraine's top universities, and he even found himself on the Ukrainian judo team. Over the next few years, he would win national championships in 3 different sports: judo, sambo, and freestyle wrestling. With his experience in combat sports, and the discipline that came along with the military life, Abdulmanap was perfect for instilling discipline, respect, and a strong work ethic into his students. Admittedly, Khabib needed discipline because of the amount of street fights he was getting into.
One time we fight.
What's the strategy?
In supermarket.
Oh,
we fight.
Really?
Supermarket? Yes, we fight in supermarket. You know how my friends take something and you know what's the name? I don't know this.
Cologne?
Yes, he do this and security come and my friend and security go like crazy a little bit and we coming. You know we have five guys, 5 friends together, and he alone. He say, okay guys, okay, I coming now, and he go and he call somebody, and 4 guys coming, and we have 5 versus 5
in the supermarket.
Yes.
Okay.
While many would view Abdulmanap's training style as extreme, during this time in Dagestan, most young men were given 2 options: a career in sports or militant Islam. He was simply doing everything he could to equip his sons and students for the tough life of the Caucasus. Khabib started training with his father very young and began wrestling at the age of 6. Following his 9th birthday, his father led him out to the edge of a forest where a chained-up bear was awaiting. He was then ordered by his father to wrestle the bear, which he gladly did. Khabib trained in wrestling, judo, and sambo, and went on to become a 3-time sambo world champion gold medalist, European champion of army hand-to-hand combat, and win many other championships along the way. In 2008, Khabib started his pro MMA career. He would go on to win 16 straight victories before earning a contract to the UFC. The UFC is the biggest MMA organization in the world. It goes without saying, but there is no higher level when it comes to mixed martial arts competition than the UFC. Because of the difficulty of opponents and of the sport itself, being undefeated is almost unheard of. Khabib has not only never lost a fight, but he has dominated everyone he's ever stepped in the cage with. Oh, and if you're wondering what the thing on his head is, it's known as a papaja, which is a woolen hat worn by men in the Caucasus. Khabib wears it to honor where he's from. Khabib made his UFC debut in 2012, which he would win by submission. He would then start training at the American Kickboxing Academy in San Jose. There, he would be coached under Javier Mendez, and he trained with Daniel Cormier, Luke Rockhold, and Cain Velasquez, all UFC champions. Over the next year, he would secure 2 more victories. Then, in one of his most dominant performances to date, he would set the record for the most takedowns in a single fight, 21. Khabib continued to climb the ranks. Unfortunately, he was met with injury, and he looked at potential retirement. He was out of action for nearly 2 years, but his father encouraged him to come back.
I training all my life. I training in the mountain. I wrestling with the bears, and when I come back, I can't wait.
When he finally made his return, he was better than ever, and he had one goal: to become the champion.
Move, Mike!
He was put up against one of the UFC's best strikers, Edson Barbosa. Khabib did what he always does, and mauled his opponent. And fun fact, his son was born on the same day.
Did you feel bad? Did you feel sad that you missed it?
Why I need to go?
I don't know. Support your wife, be there, hold her hand. I don't know.
We have different mentality.
After his impressive performance at UFC 219, he was given his long-awaited shot at the title. Khabib would win and become the UFC lightweight champion. Now that we've established where Khabib is from, what his life was like growing up, and how he has been dominant in the UFC, it's time to look at who he is as a person. To start, he is deeply religious. Khabib is a devout Muslim. He takes his religion very seriously, and never fights during the months of Ramadan. He also never drinks alcohol. He is one of the most famous Muslim athletes in the world. Khabib also takes great pride in his nation. He is one of Russia's biggest stars and seen as a national hero for his athletic accomplishments.
Look, this guy pushing.
You know this guy?
And of course, Khabib cares deeply about his friends and family.
I love Khabib. I think he's one of the best people in the world, man. I mean, he is so loyal and he's so caring. And once you're a part of his circle, man, he will die for you. And I mean that literally.
Many famous people use money to buy expensive things and live luxurious lives. Khabib, though, chooses to give back to his community and help those in need around the world.
Поехали в село, там, деревня, чуть-чуть отдаленная от столицы. Ну, конечно, Мы сами видели, какую воду люди пьют, что говорят о других там моментах. Там. Если у людей просто проблема там, в питьевой воде. И где-то в апреле месяце мы приедем сюда уже на открытие там, каких-то мечетей, на открытие там, клинических центров, да, так скажем, на открытие колодцев там, и так далее. Ну, примерно есть план.
Он надеется, что с его помощью жизнь этих людей в скором будущем, иншаллах, хоть немного станет легче.
Being the first Muslim UFC champion and the first Russian-born UFC champion, Khabib has many followers around the world, but his popularity would skyrocket when he would face his nemesis, the biggest name in the sport's history, Conor McGregor. The week Khabib got his title shot, an incident took place with one of Conor McGregor's friends, Artem Lobov. Artem was talking bad about Khabib in interviews, and Khabib confronted him about this.
I asked him, hey, you wanna say something in front of my face? Say now. He said, I never talk about you bad. But he talked bad about me.
Conor saw the confrontation and flew from Ireland to Brooklyn. There, Conor and a group of friends stormed the bus Khabib was getting on at the UFC Media Day. Conor picked up a dolly and threw it through the bus window, injuring fighters and UFC staff in the process. Khabib's message was clear.
Just send me location.
The fight was on, and what followed was what President of the UFC Dana White called the darkest press conference he had ever been a part of.
Here's my location, you little fool. Right in front of you. Do something about it. Do something about it. Yeah, you'll do nothing.
I don't drink.
Why don't you drink?
I don't drink.
Why don't you drink?
I never drink.
I'll tell you some buzz at parties.
I never drink.
You're mad backwards. If you'd have got off that bus, you'd be dead now.
No, okay.
You'd be dead and I'd be in a cell.
Conor had written an Instagram post about your dad calling him a coward. Did that affect you in any way?
Most important is 6 October. Now he can talk whatever he wants. He gonna talk, I know. And 6 October is most important. When Allah with you, nobody can stop you. No Irish team, no Irish whiskey, nobody can stop you.
First of all, I want to say Alhamdulillah, God gave me everything. Alhamdulillah, tomorrow night I'm gonna smash your boy, guys.
After Khabib's dominant victory over McGregor, all of the personal trash talk got to him, and as a result, he went after Conor McGregor's team.
We don't come here win belt, money, nothing. We come here for war. I told you guys. Ultimately talk. Now I'm gonna talk.
My father teach me, hey, you have to be always respectful. Like, I don't understand how people can talk about I jump on the cage, you know. What about he talk about my religion, he talk about my country, he talk about my father. He come to Brooklyn and he broke bus, he almost killed couple people. What about this? You cannot talk about this stuff. And you know, this is for me is very important. And thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you for waiting for me here. I know my father gonna smash me when I go home because I know he's gonna smash me. And Nevada, sorry. Vegas, sorry. And Alhamdulillah, undisputed, undefeated UFC lightweight champion.
In Russia, people were celebrating in the streets. And when Khabib returned to his home, him and his father would meet with Vladimir Putin. Due to the post-fight brawl, Khabib was suspended for 9 months, so the UFC made an interim lightweight championship, which was won by Dustin Poirier. This set up a unification bout between Poirier and Nurmagomedov in September 2019.
There is only one king.
The fight would take place in Abu Dhabi. And for the first time ever, Khabib's father was able to come to one of his UFC fights.
There's the tap! Khabib Nurmagomedov, 28-0!
Incredible. Absolutely incredible the way he dominates people in the grappling. Never seen anything like it.
And a big hug for the UFC president, Dana White.
Afterwards, he would donate to Dustin Poirier's charity.
Great job. You can sell this and make what you do in charity. It's gonna be good. You're a great champion. Thank you, man. I'm gonna sell this and send you money. For this charity. Thank you. I knew you were a good guy. I work hard for this, man. You earn this. You're the champion. You're the champion.
With victory, you can build your legacy. You know, maybe next week I'm gonna become #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. This is crazy. From nowhere, from mountain, Dagestan, I come here and like because of God. God gave me everything. When my dad with me, I have always new belt. Everything is good.
So, this brings us to the end of the video. But this is not the end of Khabib's journey. As far as what's next, Khabib is eyeing a return in September. His potential opponents include Tony Ferguson, who is on a 12-fight win streak in the UFC, just as Khabib is. The two have been booked to fight each other 5 times. Each time, the fight has fallen through. Most recently, due to the coronavirus. Justin Gaethje, one of the top contenders in the lightweight division, was coming off 3 knockout wins in the very first round. And a Conor McGregor rematch, where there looks to be some unfinished business. Whoever it is, Khabib will be ready. Khabib will look to go 29-0, and soon walk off into the sunset undefeated.